I have just found out that we are going to be on the front page of Twitch for Satisfactory 1.0's release, and I'm super excited for that, and I didn't think the day could get any better. But I've been blown away by the most recent video from Coffee Stain showing off the quantum tree. So we're going to break down everything that I've seen so far, and if I miss anything, please do let me know in the comments below, as well as your favorite new addition that you've seen here, whether that's power shard production or the quantum tree in general, the Mark 6 belts. We're going to get into all of that right now, so let's jump into it. And here we are in the very first screen. We can see some things straight away. So the first thing is the new windows that you can see along here and also along here as well. On top of this, we have the new barrier, which you can see just across the top. Don't worry, you will see this shortly as well. And down here, there's the second type of new barrier as well, which we'll get to later on because you won't see it until the very end. Now here we can see the first barrier that we mentioned, and then the new windows as well. I'm actually tempted looking at this. I thought this was just a metal beam, is that what it's called? But it looks black, so I wonder if we can paint them now, or perhaps it's just the shadow here. This is another close-up of the window, but more importantly, as it comes into focus, we can see that we are being able to produce a new type of item down here. I'm going to call this, for the sake of this video, condensed quantum energy, and it looks like it's being produced, though we can't quite see, from crystal quartz, though I could be mistaken, it could be a quantum crystal. Also, pay attention to these power points. All of these are purple, and I wonder why that is, given that they are all connected. It's not wireless. Once again, you can see the purple wire connector. If you have any idea what this is, do let me know. And of course, we get a nice close-up of this new condensed quantum or crystal energy. In this shot at 25 seconds, we have a load more to talk about. Really, this is just full with plenty to break down. The item that is being produced here, you will see a little bit later on, is actually being produced from the ingots that are produced in the new building here, which we saw a glimpse of previously. But we can also see down here, unlike all the others, it has the lights along the side. This is a smart splitter, and oddly enough, it looks like it has a flat ending. Now, this can be done similarly with a sign facing the other way around, just to block off the exit. We've done it a few times, but I think this is actually, given that it's a smart splitter as well, we can presume that it's overflowing any excess items elsewhere, that this is a elevator that has been built in and it's going underneath and to another part of the factory. Once again, we have another look at the new building. I have no idea what to call this as it stands, but you can see that there's the new item being outputted onto here. This is a new type of ingot, which we saw previously, but it has changed slightly, which we'll talk about in a moment. And then we also have the inputs. Here we have the aluminium and also the condensed crystal energy. However, I believe this is actually used in the production of this. It's more like a fuel. And the reason that I'm saying that is because we also have our Caterium coming down here, which is also going in this machine. And it makes sense that you combine one shiny item with a gold shiny item to create these ingots, which you can see here. Obviously, this is the new wall, and we can see that these ingots are producing the new triangle-like item, which I don't think I mentioned. You can see it here. We'll see it again shortly. Here we go, these. So What's going on here? We can see the triangle items running along this belt. We can also see the new crystal item, which is being outputted by the particle accelerator here. And what's producing this, we'll see shortly, is actually the coal. Another thing to point out, we have the new pipes or pipe skins in the background. We'll talk about them shortly. We have what we believe is the quantum encoder and the two new gases. Interestingly enough, if you look at this little junction here, you can see that the gas is coming from here. However, there are no inputs. I can't really work out why that is unless they're getting this gas from the atmosphere. Now in this setup here, we can see what's required in order to produce what we know as the quantum computers at the moment, which is plastic, high-speed connectors, AI limiters, and computers. That's what these two are producing. A moment ago, I mentioned the crystals that we could see being outputted, or the, I guess, diamonds. These are being produced from the coal, as you can see here. Here we get a close-up of these crystals, and we can see in the background here, we can see that the manufacturer is exhausting the purple quantum gas. I'm going to say quantum gas or crystal energy gas. I'm not sure why, because this is producing, if I remember rightly, the computers. You can see them down here in a moment. Yeah. Here we can hear that it's the same machine that we saw before. So it's not a different machine, as far as I can tell. However, it is producing a different output, a solid output this time. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and hopefully we don't have that many, but we can see over here the quantum computers being produced from the manufacturer line, and the first of two encoders. The interesting thing about the encoders is that they are both outputting this pink gas. It's definitely a gas. At the same time, they're both outputting different items. They're not producing the same item. So this particular one uses the triangle items that we saw earlier, as well as the item that we've just seen, and the quantum computer here to produce this particular item. It also uses the input of this green gas. Now, I'm not sure about these pipes. In the previous video, people mentioned that it could be a special type of pipe for gas. However, both of these are gases. And the other thing that draws me away from saying that it's a specific pipe for this gas is that this particular gas was also shown to us in a normal pipe in the Flush DLC video. So it's either a different skin, or it could be a reskin of the tier 2 pipes, because we haven't seen tier 2 pipes at all in the most recent teasers. So let me know what you think about that. Regardless, I'm really excited to play around with this. It looks like we can also color them as well, because this is a rose gold finish, and the one that we saw in the previous one was more of a Caterium finish. Also, the particle accelerator, this could just be really clever color palette usage, but it looks like this could be also the same skin as these pipes as well. Obviously, the new MAM is here as well. The quantum computer is being produced, as we've already mentioned. And here we can also see up close the new fencing. Here we have the two quantum encoders. Remember, this one is using the item that we saw was being produced earlier, as well as the new triangle pieces. And we also had the quantum computer and this gas inputting into here. Over on this side, you can't really see from this angle, but we have the quartz crystal. We have the quantum crystal, which I haven't mentioned yet. This is quantum crystal. In this shot, we can see the new item. I have no idea what this is. I think this is the only time we see this in the video, and it disappears. I don't know if the train's taking it away. So it looks like we have more than meets the eye here. And obviously we get a close-up of the gas. This is clearly a gas, you can see by the clouds here. And we can see that the gas is being used in another particle accelerator, along with the crystal that we saw earlier, to produce these quantum crystals. Here we get a nice little view of the other particle accelerator, and we can see items going to that. We will talk about that shortly, but more importantly, this is the second barrier or wall type that we saw previously. In this shot, we have the manufacturer here. This is receiving nuclear pasta along with the quantum crystal concrete, and if you look really closely, you can actually see there is also all of this iron plates being used, and that is producing the item that we will see here, whatever this is. And you'll also notice there is plutonium waste, which will be combined with this in the particle accelerator to produce another new item. I have no idea what it is. Perhaps we're able to sync this, which means we can recycle plutonium, or potentially this is another type of fuel that we can use in our factories. Because you have to bear in mind, the particle accelerators that we can see use a lot of energy, and presumably so do the quantum encoders and the other machines that we've seen. So our factories are going to be a lot more hungry for power. But coming back here, we can see this and the double barrier or half wall here. Here we have the second encoder. Again, we can see that this currently is out of its input, but it was the greeny blue gas, and it also outputs the red pink gas over here as well. But this is using the quantum crystal along with the quartz crystal and that item that we saw earlier to produce power shards. Now this does raise the question, are the slugs still going to be in the game? And I think they will be. This is just a way for us to automate it ourselves now. And the other thing, of course, the solution to the Mark III miners. I missed that. We'll go back to that in a moment. Here we have the tier or Mark VI belts. That is pretty awesome. I love this shine. And what I missed when I first watched this video, blink and you'll miss it, is this shot. It's one of 6 frames. This is the clearest one, and it looks like the Pioneers trying to touch whatever this is. Now I have 2 thoughts. It's either to do with the story, or it's to do with teleportation. The reason I think it could be teleportation is it looks like the Pioneer is reaching out to the portal. A bit like how you see in Stargate, them reaching into the portal the very first time. Guys, I am so excited for this. I'm sorry, I've probably whittled on for 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. I can speak for England when it comes to Satisfactory. But guys, I am super excited for this. Let me know what you're most excited for in the comments below. And make sure to join me over on twitch.tv/Totalxclipse or on here for Satisfactory's full release. We're going to be starting a brand new playthrough, and we have got a lot planned, including giveaways and some other things, but I'm keeping that a secret for now. But guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to all of our amazing supporters on Patreon, most notably our Solo Clips Patreon, Firefless, as well as our Lunas, the Calamity, Ben, and Star, and our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Papa Snoozy. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.